Trump's new executive order could close your bank account. Here's who gets locked out first.
I've talked to some of the bankers about that, and you might not be surprised to hear they don't think it's their job to have to report citizenship. It's because you don't need to be a citizen to open a bank account. So why are you doing that?
Why is that? Why can anyone come and open a bank account? If Treasury and the banking regulators say it's their job, it's their job. So why can the unknown foreign nationals come and open a bank account?
The United States government is preparing to require every bank, every credit union, and every financial institution in America to collect proof of citizenship from their customers. From every single account holder, new and existing. And if you don't have the right document, your account could be closed. Which document do they want? Who gets locked out first? And what do you do right now to protect your account? On April 15, 2026, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent confirmed it on camera. A new executive order requiring every bank, every credit union, and every federally insured financial institution in America to collect citizenship documentation from every customer, new and existing alike, is, in his own words, in process. If you bank at Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, your local credit union, or any online bank, this order is about you specifically. Not immigrants, not non-citizens, you. Right now, if you walk into JP Morgan, Bank of America, or Wells Fargo, they only need your name, date of birth, address, and a government-issued identification document to open an account. Under this order, that's about to change completely. Under the draft order, every financial institution in the country, JP Morgan, your local credit union, your community bank, your online bank, all of them would be required to request citizenship documents from every customer. Documents like passports, birth certificates, naturalization certificates. Not a driver's license, not a real ID. Those don't prove citizenship under this proposal. And the institution's scope is total, not just JP Morgan, not just Bank of America. American Banker reported in March 2026 that the compliance burden would fall hardest on community banks and credit unions, institutions that can't afford armies of compliance lawyers the way the big banks can. Here's the number that should stop you cold. Bloomberg confirmed there were only 183 million U.S. passports in circulation in 2025. The U.S. population is 340 million. That means roughly 157 million Americans, nearly half, don't have one. In West Virginia, only 2 out of every 10 people have a passport. In Mississippi, 3 out of 10. In states like New York and California, 8 out of 10. That gap is not about immigration status. That's about income, about access, about whether your life ever required international travel. 1 in 10 Americans doesn't have their birth certificate readily available. Nearly 4 million people report theirs as lost, stolen, or destroyed. Those people, American citizens born in this country, could be the first ones locked out. And here's the timeline problem that nobody is talking about. A certificate of naturalization currently takes between 5.5 and 14 months to issue. A U.S. passport takes 4 to 6 weeks. Semaphore confirmed the order is explicitly retroactive, meaning existing customers, not just new ones. If this order signs and every institution in the country starts requesting documents immediately, millions of people can't comply in time even if they qualify. American Banker ran the state-by-state numbers. The 10 states with the lowest passport rates, all of them below 37%, voted for Trump in every recent election. His own base is the most exposed group in the country to this order. That is not a political statement. That's just the data. And it tells you exactly how wide the impact of this order actually is. This is not targeted. This is everyone. Think about what that actually means for a second. Your grandmother, who has lived in this country for 80 years and never needed a passport because she never left, she is affected. The veteran in rural Kentucky who served 2 tours and never applied for a passport because he had nowhere to fly, he is affected. The naturalized citizen whose certificate of naturalization is sitting in a filing cabinet in a storage unit they moved out of 3 years ago, affected. The college student whose birth certificate has their parents' address on file and who hasn't updated their identification document, affected. This order doesn't have a carve-out for people who are clearly American. It has a document requirement. And if you don't have the document, regardless of who you are, the bank has no mechanism to distinguish you from anyone else. The financial industry source who spoke to CNN called it a bad idea and said executives are very alarmed. Banks are being asked to play a role in immigration enforcement they were never designed for, using tools they do not have.
Here's what the news coverage is completely missing.
Every outlet is covering the immigration side. 0 of them are covering what it does to your credit score. If your bank account gets closed involuntarily, even temporarily, here's what happens to your credit. Your credit utilization calculation breaks. Your payment history gaps. Any autopay connected to that account stops. And any lender reviewing your file sees an account closure on your record. That is not a minor disruption. That's potentially a 50 to 100 point drop, depending on how your credit profile is structured. For someone building business credit, trying to get funded, trying to qualify for a mortgage, that timing is devastating. Not could be, is. And here's the specific credit math that nobody is running. A missed payment that goes 30 days past due removes an average of 60 to 110 points from a credit score, depending on how strong the profile was before the event. If your account closes involuntarily and the autopay attached to it fails, that missed payment shows up on your credit report within 30 days. Your creditor doesn't call first, the bureau doesn't warn you, it just appears. And the mortgage you are going to apply for next month now requires explaining a derogatory mark you never saw coming. The people who get hit hardest are the ones who are already doing everything right, paying on time, building their score, using credit responsibly. They're the ones with the most to lose if their account closes without warning. 3 things. Do them now, not after the order signs, not if this order passes, right now, before it does. Today, check your passport status. Do you have one? Is it expired? Is it within 6 months of expiration? Apply or renew immediately. Current processing time is 4 to 6 weeks. That window gets shorter every day closer to a signed order. This week, locate your birth certificate, not for immigrants, for you. 1 in 10 Americans can't immediately produce theirs. Order a certified copy from your state vital records office if you're not certain where yours is. Some states take weeks. The certificate of naturalization for anyone who went through that process takes between 5.5 and 14 months to receive. Start today, not next week. This month, diversify your banking. If you currently have 1 bank account, open a second one at a credit union or a community bank. Credit unions are member-owned nonprofit institutions and may face different requirements or timelines than major commercial banks. Having 2 accounts protects your financial continuity if one gets disrupted. And if you're building credit right now, this makes the case even stronger for getting your credit profile documented, verified, and above 750 before any banking disruption hits. A strong credit profile creates options. A disrupted one closes them. Here's something almost nobody has thought about yet. If millions of Americans suddenly need to apply for passports at the same time because this order forces it, the State Department can't process them fast enough. Current standard passport processing is 10 to 13 weeks. Expedited is 5 to 7 weeks at extra cost. If demand spikes by even 10%, those timelines stretch. Every week that extends is another week your account is at risk if the order has already taken effect. The people who apply before the rush get through in normal time. The the people who wait until the order is signed, compete with 30 million other people who waited too. Here's the bottom line. Whether this order is signed tomorrow or 6 months from now or never, the preparation is the same. Get your documents together, diversify your banking, build your credit now. Because the people who prepared will be fine. The people who waited won't. Before I get into the last piece, one thing. Everything I just told you about protecting your credit during a banking disruption and 20 more strategies like it are in my book, Credit Rewrite 800, the 800 Plus System. The link is in the description. If this video is landing for you, that book is your next step. If you're not subscribed yet, do it right now before the next section. Every video I'm releasing this week is directly connected to the one that comes after it. This one on the citizenship order connects to what I'm covering next about what happens to your credit score if you lose bank access. You need both. Subscribe now and you won't miss it. Okay, back to what you need to know. This citizenship order is not happening in a vacuum. It's part of a broader pattern that has been building all year. Senator Tom Cotton introduced the Know Your American Customer Act in March 2026, which would explicitly require all U.S. banks and credit unions to verify citizenship or legal immigration status. It would make it a federal crime for any undocumented person to open or maintain a U.S. bank account. The SBA has already blocked all non-U.S. citizens from its 7A loan program. This is not one isolated policy. It's a systematic dismantling of financial access across every institution type in the country. The Trump administration has also been pushing banks to share customer data with federal immigration agencies. And now, the banking system itself may become a citizenship verification checkpoint. That's a relationship between Americans and their banks that has never existed before in this country. Not in modern history. Not ever. When the government uses the banking system as a tool of immigration policy, it changes the relationship between every American and their bank account. Not just immigrants, everyone. Because the bank now has a new job, and that job is not serving you. Jeremy Savory, CEO of Savory & Partners, one of the world's largest citizenship advisory firms, said this publicly. The United States has traditionally been one of the most accommodating jurisdictions in the world for opening a bank account. Requiring proof of citizenship is a striking reversal. Those are not political words. That's a financial systems expert describing a structural shift. And here's what that structural shift means for everyone watching this video. Banking access is the foundation of your entire financial life. Your credit score lives inside the banking system. Your payment history flows through it. Your business funding requires it. Protect it like the asset it is. That means documents ready, multiple accounts at multiple institution types, because the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency regulates national banks, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation regulates state-chartered banks, the National Credit Union Administration regulates credit unions, and the Federal Reserve regulates bank holding companies. Every single type of financial institution falls under this order. There's no safe harbor. That means your credit union is not a backup if the rule applies equally there. Your preparation has to go deeper than just switching institutions. That's exactly the system I break down, step by step, in Credit Rewrite 800. The window to prepare is right now, not after the order is signed, not after your bank sends you a letter, right now, while you still have full, uninterrupted access to every financial tool you need. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent confirmed on April 15, 2026, that the bank citizenship order is in process. Bloomberg reported there were only 183 million U.S. passports in circulation in 2025, in a country of 340 million people. That's 157 million Americans without one. 1 in 10 can't immediately produce their birth certificate. 4 million report theirs lost, stolen, or destroyed. And this order doesn't apply only to JP Morgan or Wells Fargo. It applies to every bank, every credit union, every federally insured institution, every credit union insured institution in the United States, your community bank, your local credit union, your online savings account, every single one. That is not a political story. That's a financial preparedness emergency for millions of Americans, and most of them don't know it's coming. Now you do. Read the next section differently because of that. So drop a comment right now before you close this video. Do you have a passport? Is your birth certificate accessible? And do you have more than one bank account? Tell me where you stand. I read every comment. I reply to as many as I can. Drop it now. What's your document situation? And what are you doing about it tonight? I'll see you in the comments.